You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
And we're back already. It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm Charlie Touche. Got my co-host Kadeem Simmons with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. If you guys have been keeping up with our free agent frenzy, then you know we got some more reporting to do. Miami Dolphin linebacker Sam Eguavoen, formerly Eguavoen. Or I guess it's Eguavoen now and it's formerly Eguavoen. So Sam Eguavoen re-signs with the Miami Dolphins 1 year, $2.8 million. 3.8?
Just two.
I thought it was 2.8.
Like $2,800,000 fully guaranteed.
That's 2.8.
Is it? I'm only going by what people are reporting, and that's 1 year worth $2 million.
Oh, 2 point. All right, 2 million. 2 million. How is that possible, bro? 1 year, 2,800,000 guaranteed. The wheels are turning in my head right now, so I would have to see how that works.
You know what, guys? Put in the comments how this contract works.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't know how that one works. 800,000 fully guaranteed. Usually, it's like a sign-in bonus, and it carries over to another year, and then you get let go, and then you keep your guarantee. That's a wild one to me. But nonetheless, he's coming back to Miami. What you got, Kadeem?
You can't go into the draft with holes basically, because then you reach for players. So you bring back the guys who have performed in the building, be it with a different, coaching staff. In this sense, Josh Boyer was around last year. And yeah, he's someone who, again, like we said of Duke Riley, not so much of a Landon Roberts. He is a player who can contribute on special teams, but when he's on the field in a defensive capacity, he can rush the passer. Is he going to take meaningful snaps away from, Jalen Phillips and Emmanuel Ogbah? No, not really. But what he will do is he will allow them, if they need to miss a down or anything like that. It allows them to basically rotate the front and not have a massive drop-off. And, it just means that they're not... And again, he's not a starter in the sense that in the first round, pick 29, they needed to go, pass rusher because Sam wasn't coming back. But it just means that they can kind of do what they want, make moves where they want. And, I think that's nearly everyone on this side of the ball coming back this year who could have come back. It's the Dolphins saying this part of the team played well. These guys were a part of that success. Let's keep things the same while the offensive side of the ball kind of go through some, a few lumps basically under a new coaching staff.
So this is another one of those contracts where if Dean falls in the draft or Lloyd falls in the draft and we happen to be around to get one of those guys, if we move on from this contract, it won't be a lot of dead cap. So you gotta make sure you don't go into the draft and we gotta go get a linebacker, and then all of a sudden you don't get a linebacker because the draft didn't fall your way, or a trade that you couldn't deny came your way, or you seen a guy that fell to you and you want to move up to go get him and you don't get linebacker for whatever reason. You have pieces in place, and that's one of these pieces. That's what this piece is. That's what a lot of these contracts look like. We could get out of those contracts within a year or two, and that's what we got right here. So welcome back to Miami, bro. It's been a pleasure to have you here. Let's run it back.
My mind escapes me sometimes, probably more often than it should. Didn't he get something like 3 or 4 sacks in a preseason game this year?
Was it this year? I thought it was the year before. I thought it was
I
last year.
thought I feel like it was this year. I'll
No,
fact
no,
check.
no, no. I think it was last year because it was COVID this year, wasn't it? How many years did we
No,
go through with COVID? Did we do 2 COVID years?
one. We definitely had preseason games this year.
Right. So we didn't have preseason. And all right, yeah. So it was this year. It was. I think he had like 4 sacks in one game.
Yeah.
It was the game that got him signed to the team. Like, you know what? We're gonna keep you. It was
Everyone
the
was
last
like,
game of the preseason, and he had like 4 sacks.
yeah, 21st of August, 2021, has 4 sacks. So yeah,
Dang. That's crazy.
yeah.
Shout out to them dudes at Go Time Dolphins. They kind of know what they be talking about. Shout out to them boys. That's
had
what's
to
up.
had to fact check it, but we got there eventually. But yeah, it's someone who, again, he's a player who has performed in Miami, and we keep talking about keeping our own, rewarding our own. Okay, Mike G didn't get the contract he probably deserves, but he'll be around this year at least. And yeah, I just think, again, I like it. It's not a move that makes you go, you can't go and get player X or player Y. It just means, and again, if you are going to replace him in free agency, who are you replacing him with? Because the chances are the guy you're paying more. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yep.
So you bring him back, for basically next to nothing. As you Americans say, pennies on the dollar.
Pennies
You
on the
kinda go from
dollar.
there.
Dang, what y'all got? Pennies on the pound?
Don't really say that.
Pennies on the pound, baby. Pennies on the pound. Hey, that's the new one. So we just did our update episode. If you guys have heard this episode about Sam Eguavoen, the previous episode was a full recap. I don't know, it might be like an hour long. So you got a whole full episode in there and tell you who's available, who's not available, what we think the Dolphins will do moving forward. And we talked about Morgan Moses, his availability. If we didn't get Lyle Collins, we could fall back on Morgan Moses or Trent Brown. But as it goes in free agency, Morgan Moses is no longer available. He signed to the Ravens. So this thing is fluid, and you just wait around waiting on Terran Armstead, you're gonna miss out on your right tackle. So I need the Dolphins to be what Chris Greer said we were going to be, which is aggressive. I need to go get Lyle Collins, and if we don't get Lyle Collins, bro, y'all gonna see a different Touche, bro.
The more I think about it, I seriously believe their plan is Liam Eichenberg at right tackle. But this isn't a Lyle Collins podcast. This is, a Sam Eguavoen episode. He deserves his shine. He deserves his flowers. He deserves his, 10 minutes. And I believe the Dolphins have basically now brought back everyone they could to keep that front seven together. It doesn't prevent you from going and getting a Miles Jack or someone in the draft. Everyone keeps saying, Nakobe Dean. But it just means that there's continuity on this side of the ball. And hopefully, he can have a Andrew Van Ginkel / Zach Sealer year where he kind of, really shows and earn himself another deal with a bit more money in a few more years.
Y'all stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time.
The Miami
Already.
Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.